everybody, this is Eric with Highway 93 RV, and today we're going to be talking about propane hoses. This is what you're going to need to know to buy a propane hose, to replace those on your RV that are leaking. Maybe it's leaking here where the bend is, maybe it's pulling out, leaking next to the fitting, but it's leaking, you got to replace it. So we have rubber propane hoses, your typical propane hose, and we also have stainless steel. Stainless steel are a few more bucks. They last a little bit longer. Actually, they last longer, period. To me, it's a better way to go. You're going to get more life out of it, you know, not have to worry about them versus the rubber, stainless steel. You know, we always recommend the stainless, but, you know, this is what we sell the most of, rubber. So anyway, if we get into the hose itself, you know, propane hoses for RVs typically have this what's called an Acme fitting on it. And this screws onto the valve, it screws onto it. And then you have over here another fitting, and this particular one is 1/4" inverted flare. So this fitting is pretty common too, and it goes into your typical regulator that supplies line or supplies propane to 2 tanks. Now you might not have either one of these fittings, or you might have one or the other. Let's say you don't have the 1/4" inverted flare, then you would have a 1/4" pipe thread, which is what this fitting is. And it doesn't matter which configuration you have. We have the hoses. If we're out of one hose, we always have an adapter to make it work. So you're going to leave with a hose no matter what in most cases. And now if you don't have the so you might have the 1/4" flare, you might, or a pipe thread, the 1/4" flare, inverted flare, either one of those we have, no problem. And if you don't have this particular fitting on your hose, then you might have what is called a POL fitting. So this fitting was very common in years gone by, you know, until they changed the tanks. This fitting was the everyday fitting. Some of you probably remember that. So some tanks still use this. Some RVs are set up this way. You see this more often on motorhomes, I think, today than anything else. So this fitting is still available in a propane hose. So you can get it either way. You know, we have the different fittings, different style hoses. And to make sure what hose you have, you can do this 2 different ways. You can either measure the entire length of it. So this particular hose measures about 15 3/4. So I'd make it a 15-inch hose, 16-inch hose. I think the packaging says 15-inch. They're not always 100%. It's more of a call-out size. For this hose I measured earlier, measures 14.5 inches, so it would be a 15-inch hose. So if you can't measure it, just take the hose off and bring it in. And it's probably easier to just take the hose off and bring it in. That way there's no confusion on what fittings you have. Sometimes we think we can remember this. We get to the store and, you know, I've done it. Oh, I'll never forget that fitting. I get down to the store and, well, I forgot that fitting. I don't remember what it looks like. You can take a picture of it too, but bringing the hose in is the best way to do it. And just so you know, we also make propane hoses here. This is just a small piece of propane hose, but we make propane hose here. We can make something, you know, just a few inches long or 100 feet long, whatever you might need to go from your RV to an external tank, custom application, you're installing a heater, whatever it might be. We can make hoses for just about any application. We have a lot of fittings, a lot of hose. So, like I said, that's propane hoses. These are just short little videos for the store, so you can make the right decision or make the right purchase when you're coming down here. So remember, just to bring the propane hose, that's the easiest way to do it. Thank you.